Welcome to the Explainer. If you've ever worked the phones, answered support tickets, or stood behind a busy customer service desk, you already know this job is absolutely not for the faint of heart. Honestly, you are the frontline heroes for your company. You're out there absorbing the frustration, the anxiety, and sometimes the outright fury of the public. So let's dive into this. Today, we're exploring a highly tactical toolkit. We're going to look at 7 proven de-escalation techniques that'll help you not just survive a crazy shift, but truly master the interaction.
Okay, picture this scenario. It is 2 p.m. on a Monday. You have already handled dozens of calls today. Your phone rings, and before you can even get your standard friendly greeting out, the customer is literally screaming. They are furious about a delayed shipment, they're threatening to leave terrible reviews everywhere, ruin your company's reputation, and oh yeah, they want your manager immediately, right? Your heart starts to race, your palms might get a little sweaty, and you immediately start questioning all your life choices. Your gut instinct is probably to either match their aggressive energy or just transfer them away immediately just to make the pain stop. But we all know neither of those reactions actually solves the problem. This right here is the high-stakes trial of the job, and how you react in this exact moment dictates everything that follows. To conquer that 2 p.m. call, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The daily customer service reality. 2. Why de-escalation matters now. 3. Listen, validate, and relate. 4. Tone and tactical apologies. 5. Empowering choices and backup. And 6. From reactive to confident.
Section 1. The daily customer service reality.
Section 2. Why de-escalation matters now.
Look, the landscape has fundamentally shifted. The reality we're facing today is that customers are just more stressed than ever before. They're driven by economic anxiety and all sorts of societal pressures, so their fuses are incredibly short. On top of that, expectations for instant service have completely skyrocketed thanks to things like same-day delivery and 24/7 chatbots. People expect perfection, and they expect it right this second. And when they don't get it, well, social media amplifies every single negative interaction. Just one bad call can turn into a viral brand disaster. Because of this massive pressure cooker, employee burnout and turnover in customer service are just extremely high. And frankly, your competition is just one click away. If you don't handle the interaction well, the customer just opens a new tab and goes to a rival. So acquiring these de-escalation weapons isn't just about saving your company's bottom line, it's genuinely the ultimate antidote to your own burnout. Section 3. Listen, validate, and relate. Technique number 1 is absolutely foundational. Let them vent without interrupting. I know, this feels totally counterintuitive. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to jump in, offer a fix, or defend yourself. You have to resist that urge. An angry customer is basically like an overinflated balloon that desperately needs to deflate. If you interrupt them, even with the absolute perfect solution, it just signals to them that you don't care about their feelings. You just want them to shut up. By staying completely silent, you're allowing that emotion to literally leave their body. In fact, neuroscience shows us that when people are highly emotional, their logical prefrontal cortex goes completely offline. Letting them vent is a biological requirement for their brain's logic center to flip back on so you can actually solve the problem. So once they've vented, we move right into technique 2, validate their feelings. There is a really stark contrast in how you can respond here. A bad response sounds kind of like, "Sir, your order was only delayed by 2 days. That's within our policy." That just invalidates the reality and hides behind a corporate shield. It is absolutely guaranteed to make them angrier. But a good response? That sounds like, "I understand how frustrating it is when a delivery doesn't arrive when you expected it." The real secret weapon here is that validating their feelings absolutely does not mean you're agreeing that your company's at fault. You are simply acknowledging that their emotional reaction makes total sense given their experience. It instantly disarms their defensiveness. And that brilliantly illustrates our third technique, known as the feel, felt, found method. This is a classic framework, and it's a classic for a reason. It works flawlessly to guide a customer from anger straight to a solution. Step 1 is feel. I understand how you feel about this unexpected charge. Boom, that's your validation. Step 2 is felt. Other customers have felt the exact same way when they first saw it. Now this normalizes their emotion. It tells them, hey, you aren't crazy, and it creates this subtle, comforting peer pressure. Finally, step 3 is found. What they found was that it's actually the shipping insurance, and I can easily remove it for you. You've validated them, you've normalized the situation, and you've expertly pivoted toward a solution without ever making the customer feel stupid. Section 4. Tone and tactical apologies. Technique 4 is all about physiological de-escalation. Lower your voice and slow your speech. See, humans unconsciously mirror the energy of the people they're interacting with. It's something called emotional contagion. If someone yells and you speak quickly and loudly right back at them, the anger just spirals. But if you intentionally drop the volume of your voice, and you start to consciously slow down the pace of your words, and you add deliberate pauses between your sentences, it acts like magic. The angry customer will unconsciously start to match your calmer state. You aren't being condescending here. You are acting as the emotional anchor for the entire conversation, actively pulling their heart rate down using your own vocal cords. Next up is Technique 5, focusing on the apology. Now, there is a massive difference between an experience apology and a policy apology. An experience apology says, "I'm so sorry this has been such a frustrating experience for you." A policy apology says, "I apologize that our policy caused this problem." The rule of thumb here is really simple. An experience apology is always safe. It shows empathy without admitting fault. A policy apology, on the other hand, admits fault and might actually contradict your company's whole stance. So you only use a policy apology or take ownership of a mistake when your company genuinely dropped the ball. Otherwise, stick to the experience apology to safely diffuse that tension. Section 5. Empowering choices and backup. Technique 6 is to offer choices and empower solutions. Look at it this way. An angry customer feels fundamentally powerless. If you just dictate a solution to them, like, "I'll issue a refund, it takes 5 days," they still feel like a total victim of your process. But if you present options, like, "I can issue a full refund that takes 5 days, or I can send a replacement with overnight shipping right now," which would work better for you? You instantly shift them away from being a powerless victim. You turn them into an empowered decision maker. They're now collaborating with you. Plus, psychological studies actually show that people are far more satisfied with an outcome if they feel they had a hand in choosing it. But hey, what if none of this works? That brings us to Technique 7, know when to bring in backup. Certain triggers mean it is absolutely time to escalate. If the customer is cursing at you, explicitly demanding a supervisor, if you have literally exhausted all your authorized options, or, and this is crucial, if you recognize that you are becoming emotionally triggered and starting to lose your own professional cool, it's time to escalate. But here's the secret sauce. You should never threaten a transfer. Never say, "If you keep yelling, I'm transferring you." That just spikes the tension. Instead, frame it as a way to advocate for them. Say something like, "I want to make sure you get the absolute best resolution, and my supervisor has access to options I don't. Let me brief them so you don't have to repeat yourself." See? You remain their ally even as you pass the baton. Section 6. From reactive to confident. All right, let's enter the sandbox. We are kicking off the boss fight. Here is the initial, high-stakes attack from a highly stressed customer. They scream, "This is ridiculous. I've been waiting 3 weeks for my order, and now you're telling me it's lost? I need this for my daughter's birthday tomorrow. Your company is a joke." This is it. That terrifying 2 p.m. call, the stakes are massive. A birthday is ruined. The emotion is dialed up to a 10. Instead of panicking, notice how a master utilizes these tools. First, complete silence while the customer vents. Let the balloon pop. Then, using a low, calm voice, they seamlessly deploy validation. "I understand completely how frustrating this must be, especially with your daughter's birthday tomorrow. If I were in your situation, I'd be upset too." Boom. The rep absolutely refuses to match the customer's anger. They show deep empathy. They listen for the core issue, which is the daughter's birthday, and they instantly disarm the tension without accepting blame for the lost package just yet. After taking a moment to review the account, which, by the way, gives the customer another few valuable seconds to cool down, the rep takes total control, using an experience apology and empowering choices. "I have 2 options. I can process a full refund immediately, or I can send a replacement with overnight shipping at no charge. Which would work better for your daughter's birthday?" Just like that, the customer is empowered. They choose the overnight shipping. The rep maybe adds a little extra credit for the trouble, and what started as a total nightmare scenario ends with a resolved problem. By applying these exact techniques, the rep successfully transformed a guaranteed 1-star bad review into a loyal, completely relieved brand advocate. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that dealing with angry customers is a skill. It is not a personality trait. You literally do not have to be born with nerves of steel to be incredible at customer service. You can learn these techniques, you can practice them with your colleagues, and you can absolutely master them. And by doing so, you are actively protecting your own mental health. You stop taking the anger personally, and you start viewing it as a puzzle that you now have the specific tools to solve. You conquer the interaction rather than letting it conquer you. As we wrap up this explainer, I have a quick challenge for you. Think about the techniques we just explored. Which one will you consciously try in your very next difficult interaction? Don't try to memorize all 7 at once. That's too much. Just pick one. Maybe you'll let the next angry caller vent in total silence. Maybe you'll practice dropping the volume of your voice. Just pick one tool from this kit to master next. Small, consistent improvements compound into mastery, I promise you. You've totally got this. Thanks for joining me, and good luck out there on the front lines.